So, Laurie, this is your debut feature, The Unkindness of Ravens. Just tell us a little about how the project came about.
Okay, well, the Unkindness Ravens came about from us working with military veterans and mental health issues. We had been providing them with video workshops, training them how to use equipment, and the inspiration from their personal stories and their courage, and also the horrors of what they described, that which affected not just them but also civilians, inspired us that with the idea that the kind of horror they were talking about was something that the genre could express in a sensitive way, but with the added advantage that it could do so without pulling its punches. We also took inspiration from Celtic and Norse mythology as well, which added a kind of fantasy and cosmological and mythological aspect to expressing and exploring these sensitive issues.
Okay. And what's your background? Had you done a lot of short films before? What was it about this that inspired you that you wanted to do this as a feature?
Right. Okay. So my career has, included a number of short films. I actually worked in commercials originally, but
Right.
eventually moved on to short films. We did a short film with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Channing Tatum that played
Okay.
at Sundance, South by Southwest, and that kind of opened some doors for us as filmmakers. Our first horror feature was Lord of Tears, which had a successful release. It was a cult film, it
Right.
established itself well, and that's what helped finance The Unkindness of Ravens. But during the process of making these films, we're always trying to meet with people with interesting life experiences and their
Hmm.
fellow artists as well to get those ideas. And of course, so many of the greatest ideas also come from the past. So we're always interested in looking through ancient history and mythology and
Hmm.
religion to find, unusual critters, shall we say, that we can bring back to life in the present.
So it sounds like this is quite a challenging subject matter. Was it hard to get the the finance together to actually put the film into production?
Producing a film like The Unkindness of Ravens, which is exploring issues like PTSD,
Mm.
and yet at the same time providing an entertainment experience within the genre, is always a challenge. Our company, Hex Media, though, actually does finance the films
Okay.
through sales of our products, as we're
Hmm.
also a distributor, and we combine that with crowdfunding. And what we found was that whether or not distributors thought there was a market for it, fans decided there was a market
Right.
for it because they helped finance the film. Together with us and them, we managed to finance the film for about over £90,000. Still small by any commercial standard, but enough to make a film which has significant practical and special effects and costuming.
So you find you had a positive experience using the sort of crowdfunding model?
We have had a positive experience using
Yeah.
the crowdfunding model, and we've also had a wonderful and positive experience exhibiting our film at FrightFest as
Yeah.
well.
And the screening was on Saturday. How's the reaction been?
Yeah, well, the reaction to our screening on Saturday was really positive. We
Hmm.
had all kinds of folk come up to us from the audience. One of them was a military veteran who had lost two comrades during the Falklands War, and he said that the film felt like it authentically paid tribute to their experiences and didn't pull its punches in depicting the kind of feelings and psychological depictions that he feels. Another person was actually a therapist who
Hmm.
works with military veterans, and she works with them all day and all night at the Veterans Hospital. And she also gave the film a ringing endorsement. But beyond that, there were just lots of horror fans that really
Yeah.
liked the villains that we had created, these unusual Raven warrior figures, and coupled with some of the really exciting professional journalist reviews that have gone up,
Yeah.
we feel like our film is actually going to be a breakout success for
Hmm.
the Discovery section.
Excellent. Um, when you're making a film like this, where obviously you're dealing with a sensitive subject or people's real experiences, but yet you want something that's going to be entertaining as well. Is this do you kind of draw a line on something that you won't put on film?
Well, it's interesting. The distinction between entertainment and something that might, to put another way, seem more intellectual or grey or serious, as it
Hmm.
were. Well, I actually think these things can be interwoven.
Yeah.
I mean, most audiences are stimulated and entertained by films that have a sense of intellectual curiosity about them. In other
Hmm.
words, they want to take the audience to explore a subject together.
Yeah.
And that can be in a narrative that's exciting and entertaining and horrifying, as it should be in the genre. But it can have that added quality where it does take audiences further than superficial titillation and such like.
I think it's particularly the FrightFest audience here. They're very kind of informed, and they're not just here for blood and guts. They want to be challenged. They want to, you know, have things that are cerebral as well as just, Yeah.
Yeah, we found that the people that attend the FrightFest are among the most open-minded
Yeah.
and worldly of horror fans. Their tastes are eclectic, from
Yeah.
international horror to domestic to schlock exploitation, entertainment style horror to some really unusual, almost drama-like films.
Yeah.
So hats off to them. And we make films because we are horror fans. So we really are making them for these types of fans.
Yeah.
Fans who, like us, grew up trying to recreate their own VHS horror collections that they might have rented in a store, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, good bunch of people.
And what's next for the film and for yourself?
Following the successful premiere of The Unkindness of Ravens, we're looking forward to getting the film out into mainstream distribution over the next few months. We're also in post-production on another title that has already been shot, and we will be actually shooting another feature film in a month's time. For our company, Hex Media, we produce maybe about 2 films a year. We're like a little hammer, a hammer of the north, perhaps, if we're in Scotland, since we are. And we're hoping that we can follow up this success and the platform that FrightFest has given us, to show our work to the world, to keep going on that, to keep going on producing and distributing independent horror with independent creative direction.